All right, welcome everybody to Stogie Mania. We are here in the studio, and I'm joined today by Edson. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, guys? What's up, Shawn?
And Steve.
It's me, Savage Steve.
Savage Steve.
The
What's
Savage
going
one.
I am.
Thanks to all those who've subscribed and liked, and if you're doing so, don't forget to hit that little bell on YouTube, because that's the only way you're going to get notifications that we've posted something fresh for you, whether it's a vlog, a podcast. So please hit the bell, please subscribe if you haven't yet, and so how you guys been?
Great, man. Just came off the Ritual show. It's been good. I thought Raw was good. SmackDown was good. It's been a good week of wrestling.
I haven't watched SmackDown yet. I'm a day behind, obviously, because I don't have live television in my house.
Neither do I.
I'm a cheap prick. But that being said, I did watch the Raw, and I was content with where they're going. But I have to say, Shawn says it the best. It's the AEW effect. We're gonna leave that there, and I'm agreeing. I'm starting to say it myself. It's definitely a lot of shit's happening because of the AEW
especially that match
effect.
you missed on SmackDown with you didn't know, so you didn't watch SmackDown. Samoa Joe is the new United States champ, and that match, that Fatal 4-Way, was a hell of a match.
It was a Fatal 4-Way.
It was a Fatal 4-Way to him, Rey Mysterio, Andrade, and R-Truth.
I gotta tune into
Fatal
that
4-Way. What a great match!
I gotta tune into
It
that.
was great. And now that we're on the topic of WWE, there's one match made for Mania, and that match is Batista.
It is official, booked.
I'm pretty sure it's booked.
It's official. We saw the trailer. Batista versus Triple H. It's going to happen.
It's the one thing that I think is set in stone, because Batista's been writing and crying about it online for a few years already.
Right.
Yeah. What I find is funny is that Dave approached the WWE for this angle. And if you go back to the Jericho podcast, Jericho's like, that's insulting, man. They should be coming to you. Like, you and John Cena ran the show after Stone Cold and The Rock left, and you have to go to them. And that's kind of insulting, because this is the one angle he's wanted for years, just to close it up with Triple H. And I'm so happy that they're going to do it, because it's his, obviously, not just Triple H's retirement match. I think it's also obviously Dave Batista's retirement match.
I don't think it's going to be Triple H's retirement match. I obviously don't.
I think it is.
I think he's going to be like another McMahon. He's going to wrestle till he's done. I avoided an F-bomb there. I'm doing my best. Sorry about all the F-bombs last show, guys, but it's what I do. I'm a savage after all. But that being said, Batista, Triple H, it's going to be a hell of a match, obviously. The build-up for it is probably going to be, in my opinion, is not going to be that great, schedule-wise. Like, you already seen, they're saying he's going to be on the show next week, but he's saying he wasn't going to be at Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like, in that aspect, I don't think they're going to... It's booked, yeah. The story's going to be like, oh, I'm going to cut a promo, and they're not actually going to... I like to see, like, a build-up for a match where they wrestle first, and then something goes wrong. You know what I mean?
They
False
have a
counts.
scrum or something.
Yeah,
right?
something like that, right? In my opinion.
So, with that being said, with the build-up, I know that I personally thought that Becky Lynch was going to crash Flair's birthday.
Oh, right.
So
yeah,
Batista showing up like a little snake kind of really threw me off guard, and I was actually really pleased with that.
Yeah,
right?
that was a surprise, actually, having Dave be the one to ruin the party as opposed to
actually,
Becky Lynch.
Sean was convinced that Becky's going to be the man and crash the party, and we had a conversation about this. You're right.
I think everybody was convinced.
No,
I was.
Swerved everybody.
Yeah, I was,
which is good.
The whole Charlotte angle, right?
I actually, and I'm actually kind of content with the situation. My only issue with the match and with Triple H and Batista being at WrestleMania is obviously they're taking the slot away from the new talent. That for me takes focus off Aleister Black, Ricochet, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. These guys that just came up from NXT that've been busting their ass. And at that point, great wrestlers. Amazing. In my opinion, they're taking away their spotlight. And there's all other guys, even on the main roster, that aren't going to get a slot in WrestleMania now because of this. Like, I get it. Okay, it's one final off for Batista. We know it's not going to be Triple H's. In my opinion, it's not going to be Triple H's. There's no way. This is going to be the one-off, whatever. Batista's going to bye-bye, do his match, probably job it, take the loss, or even win. Who knows?
He's dropping it.
I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens. And then he'll probably get inducted into the Hall of Fame in the next couple of years, right? Which is rightfully so. Heavyweight champion several times. Evolution. Hell, he was a hell of a performer, in my opinion. When he was in his prime, dude was amazing.
I agree.
I mean,
he was a McMahon guy.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites.
Yes, but for his size, though, he sold. Like, he was good at it.
Yeah.
He was good at it. Like, there's bigger guys they have now there, and they can't do it for shit, in my opinion.
His flexibility.
That's my opinion. Who the fuck am I?
His
there's
flexibility was underrated. Like I see him crawl out of like Boston Crabs before and stuff like that. And for a guy who's 6'6", 287 pounds, like the flexibility he had the flexibility of a cruiserweight. So those are one of the things that were unappreciated because again he was a great seller, great guy on the mic. Like he could tell a story just without saying anything, and that's very rare to do. I think.
I agree.
So. I think
he had some few sloppy and stupid gimmicks coming up. Like
I think
that
the Deacon.
Yeah.
No, there was
man.
one Leviathan in OVW.
Leviathan.
He's coming out. Jim Cornette talks about it coming out of the fucking river in the middle. They shot that promo or that vignette in the middle of the night, and some fucking hillbillies were hanging around or some shit, fishing and shit. And they almost shot him or something. It's a hell of a story.
Yeah.
Cornette goes off on it.
Yeah,
but just. The things that he did, like, I mean, I loved Batista from day one, even as the Deacon carrying the fucking box with the chain around his neck. Like
the money donation box.
One of the dumbest gimmicks I ever seen, but just to see the size of him, it's like, holy shit, okay, this dude's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. So
I watched his DVD when he came from the slums, I have so much respect for the guy.
Yeah.
Hell, I even have more respect when he left the company to pursue Hollywood, and he didn't have a foothold in Hollywood. He just wanted to go try it out.
No.
Some guy attacked him on Twitter one time, and he just put him to shame. He's like, let me see, 6-time world heavyweight champion. I left millions of dollars on the table to try something new that I have nothing to know about, and then now I'm a full-time Hollywood actor.
But before he did the acting thing, he went to do the MMA thing, and that's where he shit the bed. Like, he didn't do very well in the MMA thing.
You know what, man? That's just redirection. Failure is redirection.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he tried it out.
He's been in Bond. Obviously, the Galaxy of Guardian of the Galaxy. Sorry, I don't know. I don't follow the movie. He's been in Bond. Apparently, he did. He did
a movie with Robert De Niro. It was a heist movie.
Yeah, something. Yeah, he did De Niro. He did a bunch of movies, and he's been doing well. Like, I mean, apparently he was supposed to be in the Fast and the Furious, the new one that's just coming out. The Shawn and the.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
But the schedule wise didn't work out. So
it's safe to say that he's a Hollywood superstar.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and he's playing his character.
Absolutely.
Very well.
He needed to come in as the Hollywood Dick.
Yeah,
Batista.
Yeah. Did you guys book that though? Like when he was on Raw, he wore the red sunglasses, even the red nose ring.
Yeah.
He plays it, and then he comes on again. He's wearing fucking blue sunglasses and fucking like you could wear black ones.
You know what? I think it's a part of the image. Like he's learned from Jericho, and like you were talking about last time on the podcast, how Jericho's evolved his gimmick over the years.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think I give credit to Batista for evolving his gimmick over the years with his little subtleties like that, right?
And it's perfect for him right now,
yeah.
Especially playing the heel.
Oh yeah.
And especially his little 2-cent Instagram promo in rebuttal to Triple H is incredible.
Yeah,
incredible. Pulling back the curtain promo that he did, dropping real names. All I was waiting for was him to say Paul.
Agreed.
Dave versus Paul.
Agreed. Yeah. I agree with that.
That was epic.
He cut the promo after they posted that vignette, right? Or that video of him saying, I don't want to be in Philly or whatever.
Yeah, Dave was first. Dave went first, and it was so classic. Looked so Hollywood. He's on his phone. He sends a video call. Yeah, I'm not going to Philadelphia. Who likes Philadelphia?
And then now he's saying, but they're in Pittsburgh next week? Is that where they are?
Yeah, Pittsburgh and Monday.
But they're saying they build that he's going to be there. That's their face to face or some shit.
Dave is saying maybe yes, maybe no. But then like Corey Graves came out and said, "Oh, I have confirmation that he's going to show up on Monday."
Yeah, he has to be there.
I think because also Triple H, if you look at his promo, he challenged him. He goes, "You say you're the animal. I'm waiting for you. You've done shit all but quit."
I want to see. So, he kept saying he said it several times.
Yeah,
it was hilarious, and I was like, "Man, he's cutting you deep, bud. Yeah. He's coming for you, straight to the heart, which is great." Yeah. I mean. What I did enjoy about that promo, I felt like I said when we first started, the AEW effect. Like Shawn's been saying this, and I believe this is definitely an AEW effect. I felt like he was cutting a promo in the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
like it wasn't so PG. Like he didn't so PG. He didn't say like hurtful things or what, you know what I mean? Like, right. But you can tell like in the way his expressions were, like he's pissed.
Yep.
He's not saying he's pissed, but he's gonna hurt you. He's gonna put a hold on, like, you know what I mean? He's gonna put a hurt on you. And I haven't seen that. The last time I saw a promo like that was years ago, like where they're threatening each other and whatnot. Like people shoot the shit back and forth, and I'm gonna beat you or you're gonna beat me. Yeah, that's fine, but I thought the promo was very, very, very well done. So in my opinion, for once, and
you know what,
and they like, let's go with like at least a year from. Jeez.
It's probably been a year
I'm
since
saying
a good
about
promo.
I mean, no, Samoa Joe cut a sick promo a few months ago.
A few weeks ago.
Was it a few? No,
yeah, it was a few weeks ago before the Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah.
That's only a month ago.
Oh, was it a month ago?
Yeah.
Sorry. See, I do a couple months and couple days, I think, and it's literally a week or two or some shit like that. So that's
that promo that Samoa Joe cut about Jeff Hardy and
the one where it was just great, just great, and that right there once again, Shawn, we gotta make a shirt. It's the AEW effect.
It is the AEW effect
because that's exactly what's happening, and all promotions are doing it now. It's
you
ridiculous.
guys also want to know what else is the AEW effect? Is the fact that we were at Ritual and Josh Alexander got signed to Impact.
Absolutely.
3-year contract.
Absolutely.
To Impact Wrestling.
Absolutely.
My friends, that's an AEW effect.
Hell
if you go
yeah.
back and watch the vlog, you hear me say it on the video.
Oh, absolutely. I can hear, and
Yeah,
I'm
we can
just
hear you out loud. Like,
and I'm just patting you on your shoulder the whole time, like, Shawn, you got this. Yep, you're right. This
Guys,
is definitely AEW. Definitely AEW effect, which is great.
It got to the point where this man was getting boosted by everyone, as we mentioned the other week at the podcast.
Yep.
And it was only a matter of time where logistically Impact was the ones who were able to, with all their work in Canada,
Yeah,
be
I think
able
that's
to sign
It's
him.
because they head office in Ottawa still.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure. This could be me blowing smoke, but obviously they're based out of Ottawa. He's Canadian. His situation.
A lot of tapings here.
Exactly.
A lot of tapings up north here.
So it makes perfect sense for him.
March 28th and 29th, Friday, Saturday. They're doing 2 tapings there, Impact Wrestling in Windsor.
In Windsor, with BCW.
Yeah, with BCW.
Scott D'Amore's show.
Obviously Scott D'Amore's.
He runs BCW, and he's the executive vice president of Impact.
So smart.
Yep.
So smart. Now, I don't know if you've been like on our chat. We obviously have a Stogie Mania group chat. I mentioned and I told Shawn this. The president of Impact was there.
Yeah, he was there at the gym.
He was at the gym, and I'm not even kidding. I talked to him, and he's literally on the fan bike, going, "It's not bad to be nimble." And I'm looking at this guy, and he's wearing a suit, like to the nines.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this dude? it's literally like 11 o'clock at night. We just went through a huge pay-per-view from bell to bell was epic. Okay. And this dude's riding a bike in a suit. Like, are you good, bud? Like, I didn't know who it was, and then they posted a picture of him in it, right? So I was like, so he was there, like, to sign him, obviously, which is
I'm
great.
sure he had to be,
which is great. Yeah, he didn't introduce himself. I didn't really talk to him. He seemed like a nice guy, but
he was talking to what was his name, Big Mike, at
Elgin,
Ritual, Mike Elgin. He was talking to him. I went up to Mike Elgin. And I said,
Oh, really?
I went to say, hey, I thought your match was like the match of the night.
Oh, he said that to him?
I said to him.
Oh, you said
he was
to him.
talking to the
okay.
president, and he turned around and says, "Hey, the best guy to say that to, right? Like the president of Impact."
Oh,
was
he
there.
meant he's. Oh, wow, that's hilarious.
He showed me.
That's
and
cool.
I said, and I looked at him. I knew who he was. And I said, "What are you waiting for to sign this guy? What are you waiting for? Just sign him. Let's get this guy an Impact." And I walked away.
That's cool. That's cool.
So that being said, Josh Alexander has been referred to by a lot of people as Canada's best kept secret, professional wrestling's best kept secret.
Canada's unsigned talent, but not anymore.
The best unsigned talent in the world.
In the
world. You had guys
So-
like Pete Dunne say that.
So I'm gonna ask you, Edson. Before we started our show, you just finished saying it was the first time you actually saw Josh,
right?
So, on an outside opinion, looking in, what did you think? Like,
in terms of what, like match quality?
In terms of his workmanship, his work ethic, his style.
I'm going to break it up to 2 opinions, because I don't want the one to overlap the other. All right, because I think one was not his fault at all, because you couldn't control. That's just the way the night went on.
Right.
One. So from a technical aspect, from a match aspect, he's like a 9 or a 10. He's, you know what I mean? His moves are crisp. I didn't see any botches. It was great to see. You could tell the story they were trying to tell was that who's the better athlete. Like that's all the story was. Who was just better.
Yep.
Right? No cheesy storylines, no grudges. Just you're BCW's top guy. I'm the champion of Destiny. Let's see what you got. You're supposed to be the best guy. So, with that being said, that was great. Now, maybe this will tie into the next segment we're going to talk about was the impression of Ritual. I thought that match was kind of boring. It kind of felt flat. And I don't want to take away from the both guys. I just want to take maybe the other matches drained us emotionally.
I think you're
By
right.
the time we got to that match, I just wanted this match to be over with. Because it was just like too much. There was too much wrestling, too much emotion. I was just drained. And it was just like, you just came on after PJ Black and Johnny Blackraft. They had a hell of a match. But even then, the emotion was lost from that match as well, from earlier. So it's like, it's so hard to get everyone involved when all the emotion is sucked out and the energy is sucked out of the arena at that time. I really wish there was a break somewhere. You know what I mean?
I personally think that comes down to the opposition.
You think so?
I can probably say with 100% of my brain.
Just 100? Where's the other?
I'm just saying,
what else is left?
The whole 100%.
What else is left?
The whole percentage of my brain.
Look at Shawn over here. He's got 200% worth of brain.
Yeah,
I'd like
right?
to think I'm smarter than the average bear.
Tosh Jewish business.
Yeah, there's good business. He has 100% each lobe. That's what he's talking about.
There you
You have
go.
two
No,
lobes.
because Josh Alexander and Pete Dunne went on late and went on long, and
Just amazing.
I was glued. And
So
the
it could
event was
be-
great.
So it
The
could
event
be
was great.
It could have been the chemistry he had with Simon
Grimm.
Simon Grimm.
We
So
all
maybe
know
that's
that
what it
they're
was.
he's very technical. He's
Simon
very
Grimm is-
like slow.
But
yeah,
can I
very methodical.
Can I just that show was that a pay-per-view? I can't remember now.
It wasn't
Carnage.
a pay-per-view.
No.
Okay,
It
so
was the anniversary show.
exactly.
Anniversary
So
show.
let's put a pause. If in other shows you would have got that rest. They do an intermission normally,
Right.
but because of the pay-per-view, they didn't stop. They
No,
had to
yeah,
keep
that-
shooting.
no, it makes sense.
So, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not marking out. I'm wearing a Josh Alexander shirt, but in my opinion, for a Canadian style wrestler, the dude does it all. He's like, for me, a cruiserweight, but
Right.
he moves like a
Okay.
cruiserweight and hits like a heavyweight.
Let me just put
Okay?
this for perspective to everyone who's watching, and I'm sure if everyone's here is a wrestling fan, we all watched WrestleMania 18. I was there live.
I wasn't.
Right? I saw it. Let me tell you, Jericho and Triple H tore the house down with their match.
Right.
Spots I haven't seen in a long time.
But to
right?
follow Rock-
But to follow Rock and Hogan with the emotion being sucked out of the arena.
He talks about that so much on his podcast. It's ridiculous.
There's the match
was
was
so
great,
hard for
but
him.
the energy by that point was out.
Yeah.
It was, and that's the problem. Like that's why I'm comparing Josh Alexander and Simon Grimm's match to Triple H and Jericho going last after Rock and Hogan. To me, and that's nothing knocked. Triple H and Y2J are two best in the world, especially at that time. So just to follow up something like that, you know what I mean? It was hard. You couldn't do it, no matter what you tried.
I'm not disagreeing with you at that point, but also Shawn brought up a great point. His the match he was having with Simon Grimm, Simon Gotch, whatever you want to call him, super nice guy. Got to speak to him.
Yeah, super nice guy.
He wasn't performing though, in my opinion, at the level he was in the WWE. He did a lot with the tag with the
How old
Von
is he,
villains. I don't know. Can't be that old though.
You don't think
Can't
so?
be that old. No.
I think I thought he was in his 40s. I'm very sure he was in his 40s.
Simon Grimm?
Yeah,
can't
man.
be, man.
I will look it up for you guys.
No
Get back to
way.
you.
That's insane. But that being said, in my opinion, the pay-per-view went great. But I've been going to Destiny for like 2 years straight now, so I know what to expect. I know, and the whole time, like I stood. I didn't sit down. Me and Shawn and Chops,
You guys
aka
didn't
James,
see me at the other end of the
aka
bench. I was
James
standing
Weber.
up. Your
standing a lot,
sister
too.
was telling me to sit down.
I mean,
And out of respect for you, I told her to sit down.
I mean, at the end of the day, like you should have stood with us in the corner, like the whole from bell to bell.
You would have missed. You would have missed what I said to your sister. It was great. She was at one point. We're watching the Mike Elgin versus who was the other guy he was facing from BCW?
I don't even remember his name. It's the guy who was at Greektown.
Greektown.
Oh, Chris Dickinson.
Chris Dickinson.
it.
That's it.
That guy's an animal too.
Dude, that was a great match. Those
It
guys
was for two bodies.
for two big guys like
Guys,
that. They tore the house down with their match.
I saw him at
Um,
Greektown, pointing at your shirt.
Yes.
yeah.
Big up to Greektown.
I saw Josh Alexander do the same thing. He pointed at you when you threw the streamers. Was it you guys? You
Yeah,
pointed at
yeah.
the corner.
He's pointing at Chops,
He's probably
most likely.
pointing at Chops.
Chops
Because
alright.
James actually started the Josh Alexander appreciation tour recently.
Oh my God.
That's what he's labeling.
He's
it.
just
Wow.
this guy is amazing.
He's
Like,
an animal.
Yeah.
We're gonna shout out to James, aka Chops. I baptized him with the name Chops Weber now because he's got the best looking chops in the business, other than Matt Jackson.
We mean
Just
sideburns.
saying.
If
But-
no one knows what we're talking about, we mean sideburns.
With the streamers, I'm going to take credit in doing that post to start it all.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I think
You
we had the
should.
most streamers out of anybody, man.
You should.
I think I'm gonna take that ball and I'm gonna run with it.
You run
You
far.
should, bud.
Go
bring it
all the
to bring it to Rebellion and Impact.
Go.
And
Oh, are we gonna do that? All right, wait, hold on. Are you doing the
Rebellion?
Rebellion show? I haven't.
I'm
asked
gonna
you.
try.
You're gonna try.
You try. If not, we're bringing
He's
streamers
he's
and we're just gonna
marking-
throw it.
He's
when
marking
Josh
out for
Alexander comes
SummerSlam,
out.
eh? He's
Yeah,
marking
I
out for
have to.
SummerSlam. He wants one of those fancy chairs. He says.
Oh, I
That's
want.
his.
I want a fancy chair.
Nah,
Never mind. I
I'm
missed
not
out on
paying-
Survivor
I
Series.
cannot pay for those tickets. I'm sorry.
But-
I won't do it.
Now we're talking a little bit about Rebellion. Where do you guys see Josh?
I mean, I want to see him honestly. I think him and Brian Cage would do a hell of a show. Brian Cage, like, he comes out of he's wrestled in Mexico, like, do the lucha kind of style. He was on Lucha Underground, so he gets that feeling. But you could put, like, again, you're gonna call me a mark, but you could put him up against anybody, and he could work with. I've seen him work with anybody and everybody, and he doesn't seem to fail. You know what I mean? He doesn't like. He sells. He like I can't stop watching him, in my opinion. When his match is on, like I dive in, and it's like I'm watching every move he makes, and it's like
If he was
like, for his size, let me
Right.
just say, one of the spots that he's done, I haven't seen him do it lately, but he will pick you up in a cross body.
Yep.
He'll climb up to the top rope. Now you're
Right.
deadlifting a body,
Yeah,
mind you, at about roughly 200 pounds. Let's
Yep.
go with that. So he's deadlifting a body
Yep.
up to the top rope, and he's holding you,
Yep.
and then he does a moonsault.
With you
Okay.
on with
With you in a crossbody
and holding you
and
on.
holding
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
okay. The difficulty of that, me being I lift. I go to the gym every day. I know
You're
how,
not the only one in this
you
spot.
yourself. Okay, I'm not saying sorry. And Dave does, and whoever does. A deadlift isn't easy to do.
No.
Okay, so when you're lifting a dead body, now I'm not saying the person's dead, but that body weight,
Yep.
and you're trying to climb up
You're balancing
these
that
ropes,
weight with the ropes.
and you're balancing, and then you make this clean moonsault, and you land it. For a guy his size, dude, I can't say anything bad about him. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
I would have liked to have
there's
seen that
nothing.
spot because that's a great feat
Other
of
than a
strength
few,
and agility
other than
at the same time.
other than his one of his old ring names, Jay Jackal, wherever the hell that came,
What
wherever
a
that came up with. Josh, no offense, bud, but dude,
Um,
that was uncalled for.
what I was gonna say is that if he was a WWE guy, he would have been automatically pushed against Johnny Impact for the title.
You mean an Impact guy?
Yeah, no. If Josh Alexander was
Yeah.
a WWE guy going to Impact, I'm trying to say,
Oh, for
because
sure.
every WWE guy that comes down to Impact automatically gets a shot at the champ, and the champ drops it for the WWE guy. Like, you guys knows that trend, right? That's what's one of the biggest pet peeves of mine with Impact Wrestling. You come from WWE over to Impact, you're getting the strap on you. It's almost a guarantee. So, with that being said, I don't see Josh going. Like, he's going to go. He said he wants to be the next Impact Wrestling champion.
He will.
I don't think he's going that when he debuts, he's going to be going after Johnny Impact because of the fact that we know him, but the United States may not know him as
No,
well. He needs that
absolutely.
exposure.
No.
I would like to see him with a match with Brian Cage. I think that would be awesome.
I think that would be
Right.
great
I
match.
think that'd be a great.
But now I don't know if you follow Impact. The storyline right now is where Johnny Impact or Johnny Gimmick, whatever the hell
Right.
you want
Or-
to call him, Morrison,
Johnny Impact.
Timbits.
Johnny Timbits. We called him Johnny Timbits.
He's obviously the Impact champion, and the story is the last aired show was they tagged him and Brian Cage versus Killer Cross and Moose.
Right.
And then he made an agreement with Cage where we beat these guys and I guarantee you a title shot, because he still owes him another title shot from Homecoming.
Yes,
or
Homecoming.
Bound for Glory, was it?
No, Homecoming. Homecoming was a match.
where
yeah.
we got screwed because the ref and the guys in the crowd and whatnot.
Yeah, that was Homecoming.
So he hasn't got his rightful shot yet. Somebody keeps breaking up and making an interference or some shit like that.
Right.
So that's gonna happen, obviously. Where they're gonna fit Josh into the Impact, man. There's so many
I'd
good
like to
guys.
see him against Moose.
There's Eli Drake in there. He's already done a thing with Moose. He did a cage match at Destiny with Moose, so that's a good one too.
That's why I see him.
Yeah,
going
he
with
can do a Moose
right?
thing. Even with Sammy Callahan, he's done a great angle with Sammy Callahan
you, Shawn?
in the past.
What I think is the obvious thing is Ethan Page, Monster Mafia reunion.
Right.
Maybe.
Okay, yeah,
good
that's
call.
a good one.
Generally,
Good call.
new stars are generally in a tag,
Good call.
right?
Good
Right.
call.
With somebody who's already there that they know.
Yeah,
All
Yeah.
egos there, you know.
yeah.
So
I mean,
That could be that could be.
I'm not going to
feasible,
disagree with
possible.
you. I'm not definitely not going to because even Ethan Page right now doesn't have much of a story. He was coming up with Matt Sydal, and then I don't know, Sydal injured his knee or something, and he's on the shelf right now with the injury. Like he's getting a push, Ethan Page, but I don't see a tag team push right now. Right now, I don't see that, and I don't believe Scott D'Amore would cut that promo that he did at the end of Ritual and not give him a good push. Like the Canadian, like he came out in the Canadian thing, and I've seen you come 13 years. You know what I mean? Like he built him up so much, like on Blackraft, the Destiny pay-per-view, whatever. So I'm not saying he's gonna come out gun swinging. Like it might take a few months, but I don't believe he's going to be in a tag. I think he's going to go for a singles run, and then if that possibly goes wrong, maybe like be affiliated again with Ethan, or even I would love to see, dude. I don't know if they would do it, but him versus Ethan.
I'd love that too.
Yeah, that'd be.
I don't know if Josh or Ethan would be up for it, but
I'm sure they would.
I mean, there's
says,
people that have teamed and won't go up against each other in the past, right? And like even coming out of the same camps and stuff like that. So I don't know. I never asked them that question.
Ethan has said on that Twitch thing, that the broadcast that they did, he called in and he said that Josh Alexander is one of the heaviest hitters that he's ever been in the ring with, both against and as a partner, and that's why he chose to be his partner.
Yeah, no, he did say. And you know what the great thing about that Twitch call was, he calls in and Josh is sitting, and if you listen to this presser, they're doing a presser and they're asking him questions, and he's like, "Hi, hello." He's like, "Whatever," and then Ethan Page is saying, "Do you know who this is?" And Josh is like, "Nope." And I was like, "What the shit? I even knew it was Ethan Page. Like, this is your best friend, bud, and you don't know who the hell it is." No, man, honest to God, though, if you listen to it, like, you could tell he's like, "Oh shit, it's you. Hey, man, how's it going?" Like, hey, funny.
I thought
like,
that was work.
I mean, I'm excited for it, obviously, as you know.
Now, what do you guys think he's going to walk in? Is he still going to keep the name The Walking Weapon?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's his moniker, man. That's his trademark.
Hang on, though. Or, because we were chanting Walking Impact.
No,
at the end of when he got the signing, we all start chanting "Walking Impact."
That'll be Walking Weapon.
Walking
you know
Weapon,
what I mean?
for sure, 1,000.
I think it would be cool if he kept Walking Weapon for Destiny, and then he goes to Impact and he's called himself the Walking Impact.
I
think that'd be cool. I made
a poster a few shows back, just before he wrestled, just before he came back to wrestle when Pete Dunne came back. There's a show before that where who did he wrestle that night?
It was against Rich Swann.
Rich Swann, right. So he wrestles Rich Swann. And I made a poster. So at the top it says, Josh Alexander is Walking Weapon, ... Walking Champion, ...
Yeah.
And then at the bottom I put Walking Legend. So in that aspect, like, I don't think he's going to do the Walking Impact thing.
I think he's going to stay Walking Weapon.
You just gave me an idea. Like, what if he goes into Impact and does a program with Rich Swann? I think Rich Swann's the X Division champion.
They worked well together. They actually did work well together. So but right now
he can start off there for a feud for the X Division title with Rich Swann.
The thing is, though, right now the program and Impact, what they're doing with Swann is, so apparently him and Sami Callihan ran together back in the day, like years ago, from their together in Ohio, OVE. So Sammy's trying to bring him back into the OVE. And even like Tombstone or Powell drove him on the ramp, and now he's injured, and they're doing like this vignette where he's in the hospital, and the nurse comes in, family only, and then Swann stops her and says he is family, and he hasn't said that yet. So I think he's eventually going to join OVE and then be in that that faction. To say that, I mean, I'd rather see Josh go up against Sammy. Like, no offense to Swann, they have their history. I mean, it's not written in Impact on Impact paper, but they've had that cage match that they had was ridiculous.
Technically, it is. It was a one night only event.
Oh, was it one night
only?
Yeah.
So they do own footage to that. Impact does own the footage to that.
I don't even see. I've seen him so many times that, like, if it's a one night only or if it's a Destiny, and I recently seen him at Greektown. Like, every time you see the guy, it's just like, okay, there's gonna be someone's gonna take a beating,
right?
Okay, because that dude chops. I can't. One day I will say, "Yo, Josh, give me a chop. I want to feel this shit." One day, but I'm gonna probably be high.
Okay.
I'm gonna smoke a bomb.
Kiss your wife one last time.
Kiss my wife and my kids one last. I mean, I hope I won't bring my kids because my kids will probably shit the bed. that night, and then he probably wouldn't do it anyways because my kid would be like, I won't do that in front of your kids. I'm like, all right, let's go in the back and do it. And Shawn, come with me and record this shit. So I mean, I wish Josh all the best. We're not personal friends. I am friends with him on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
Obviously, all of Ontario and Canada are rooting for you. I will obviously keep following you, and like I said, I'm a fan right now, so I'm gonna be a fan then too. I'm so happy for him, and I mean, the best thing for me at Ritual is Chops. So James Weber he's the whole time he's like, oh, we're gonna sit together and we're gonna do this together this time, and I was like, sure, man, whatever, dude, I'm cool with that. And then he's a character, that guy. He's the biggest, I'm not even gonna stutter, the biggest indie wrestling fan that I know. And there's Njant that's there all the time. Okay, I'm not even gonna count that dude because he goes to certain shows and he goes to bigger shows, but he doesn't go, like, this guy gets on buses from Newmarket, and travels to Kitchener to go watch wrestling. Or last weekend he got on a bus from Newmarket and went all the way to Barrie. Like, dude, that's dedication.
Yeah.
And his following, like, he's gonna start a thing, man. He's bothering me he's part of us now, but he's one of us now. He's gonna be a Stogie Mania guy. He's definitely gonna be. He's definitely on our team.
I know where you're going with this story because we're gonna talk about Ritual and our experiences at Ritual. So you continue with that.
So that being said,
this is a good transition.
In comes Scott D'Amore. And right away we're like, okay, something's happening.
Yeah.
And then me and Sean's literally, okay, so this is the curtain basically. Sean's here, I'm here. James and his buddy, I think his name's Mark, I'm not sure.
Rob,
sorry, Rob is behind us, and we're all, the whole time, all four of us, like the whole show, me and like at one point OVE was sitting in the crowd, and me and Chops are chirping the shit out of Dave Christ.
That was the highlight of the night.
Such a good time. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Sorry, I'm going off topic a little bit. So Scott D'Amore comes in the ring, and we're like, okay, and he starts shooting his promo, whatever, and he calls Josh back out, and the whole time we're like, why is he doing this? Like, in my head, I'm like, okay, something's gonna happen, something's gonna happen. And then you look carefully, he's got this big old piece of paper in his back pocket, and Shawn, I'm like, yo, is that a contract? Is this going to be a contract signing? Like, in my head, but I'm not saying it out loud.
Right.
And then he starts cutting, and boom, 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 boom. And then you're no longer an unsigned talent. You're 3 year, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
You're the hottest rising
says
Impact
his thing,
superstar.
says his thing, and boom. And then Shawn's just like, this is the AEW effect. And I look back and I'm like, whatever. I'm like, Chops, what about that? And he's fucking crying.
Oh, yeah.
Dead ass.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you like a man. He told me afterwards, dude, I cried. And I was like, man, hey, I know you're a huge fan. Like, this guy's I'm a fan of Josh. This guy's a diehard fan.
Yeah.
Diehard. And I appreciate that because he's literally like at every show, he appreciates the wrestling. You know what I mean? He does. Yeah. He's definitely, I don't want to call him a mark because it's not cool. Like, no, he's not a mark. He's a dedicated fan.
He's a
it's just like
fanboy.
me. I'm not a mark. He's not a fanboy.
No,
he's a fan. Fanboy sounds a little offish.
I don't think
if there was more people like James going to shows like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Intelligent wrestling fans.
Absolutely.
Like, James knows everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He knows everybody who sets foot.
I chat with him for a little bit, and like, you could tell the wrestling IQ on this guy.
And Edson, we're going to do a call-in with him someday. He's got to be on the show for a call-in.
100%.
And that being said, like, sorry to cut you off again, but that being said, he literally, like, he's talking to me, like, he DMs me all the time. He's like, hey, you going to that show? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to try to. Like, what's the next show you're going to? And he's like, oh, you should come out with us to Barrie and this and that. And I was like, man, like, it's hard for me to travel that far. Right. I have a hard time going to Destiny sometimes, right? But I make the effort and I go. I bring my kids most of the time. Sometimes, you know, but he's like, oh, there's a Greektown's coming up on the 24th of March.
I'm trying to go. I'm off that weekend.
We'll talk about that after, for a few seconds. But the Smash show is happening again, and Matt Cross is booked at Smash, and I'm dying to see Matt Cross. It's the same day, and he
on March 24th.
Yes. So this is the thing. So Chops wants to come to Greektown to do the meet and greet, okay? Because he hasn't met these guys, the ECW guys that are coming. He wants to meet them all, and then he's saying he's gonna go back to Smash, watch the show because it's like at 12 o'clock or some shit, and then come back to Greektown to watch the show at night. That's how dedicated this guy is.
That's hardcore.
Hardcore, dude.
Man.
Legitimate, and I love him for that. James is class act, like rock star wrestling fan for me, in my opinion. That's why. And then I've like basically we all have our own little persona. Like, I'm Savage Steve, We're figuring you out. I think you're easy trash.
I have so many nicknames.
We already know
It's
Shawn doesn't
unreal.
want to hear it, but he's the creator, Shawn Lopes. I don't care what he
creator.
says. I'm bigger and stronger than you are, Shawn.
You can maybe call him the Dream or the Genius.
No, he's the creator. We're gonna and
I'm
like
the
we all
creator.
have our own little moniker, and I dubbed him. I was staring at him the other day. And we're just talking. I'm like, man, I'm gonna call him Chops. He's got the best shave, like the best chops, like other than Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson has the craziest chops in the world too, but he's got
Literally,
these
they're
chops,
it's like hockey sticks.
and he's got a fucking bald big head and just chops, and it's like perfect. This dude's Chops Weber from now on.
I think when I first looked at him, I was like, "Yo, who is this hillbilly with his crazy sideburns?"
No, man, he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy.
You know, that's first impressions. And
Yeah.
And now that he just gave a first impression, and since we're getting off the topic of Josh Alexander, my first impression of Josh was fucking. I just dropped an F. And
yes.
Let me say this instantly before I say what I said out loud at the time to Dave and Jay. I swallowed my words instantly, and then the following show was the one I brought my girlfriend to, and it was the following show I went to. It was Mike Elgin versus Josh Alexander. And let me tell you, the first words I said to Kelly was, "Oh, you got to watch this guy. This guy's fucking awesome."
Yeah.
But when he first came out, I was like, "Who is this Rick Steiner guy?" Right? But mind you, by the end of that cage match with Moose, I swallowed those words and I freaking choked on them. Josh Alexander tore the house down.
Can I just talk about that head? The head? Why he wears the headgear?
Yeah,
so
go for it.
his ear fell off.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I heard that story.
He got cauliflower so bad in a match, and it fell off, and they sewed it back on. And because of that, he was booked several shows, and he did not want to go to his shows. This is how dedicated this guy is. So he started wearing the headgear, and then it just became part of his
gimmick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's been through hell, man. He's been in the business. He debuted in 2005. He's had a serious neck injury. Didn't even think he was going to wrestle anymore. Okay, has a serious neck injury, has a serious surgery. Okay, gets it all said and done, and gets back in and climbs. He posted the other day, I've been working hard at there's a huge message he wrote, which is great. Basically telling everybody, this just didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not.
I've been chopping at the
13 years.
bit. I've been grinding. I've been through hell and back. It's my time to shine, which is great, and I'm in love with it.
Well, what was best about that was it didn't come from him. It came from the senior vice president. I forget the guy's name.
No. I'm saying he
during the
posted
promo.
The promo,
I'm talking about the promo at the end.
Demore.
From Demore, when he said that, it's different when you say it because you're keeping track of all the work you're putting in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But to have somebody else recognize the work that you've put
Absolutely.
in, it means that much more, right?
And coming from, and even Scott Demore said it himself, he's so hard on Canadian wrestlers. He's harder on even Ontario wrestlers.
Yeah.
He's even harder on those guys. So coming from Scott Demore, him saying that, it even legitimized him even more, in my opinion. It just put him he's coming up in Impact, but he's up there in Impact for
He'll
me,
get a push for the championship for sure. And I think he will win it because he is that good.
Speaking of, I'd like to see him against Killer Cross. Have you guys seen this Killer Cross guy? This dude's an animal.
Yep.
Animal. So yeah.
No, there's some great talent at Impact Wrestling.
Oh,
Shout out to
absolutely.
Impact.
I'm a huge Impact fan. Huge.
You guys are underdogs, and
I've been watching Impact more than you. Asked me anything about Impact, I know it. You asked me something about WWE, I got to ask you guys first, and then I'll talk about it. Because I just don't follow it as much as I used to.
So
right?
Is it safe to say that one of our lasting impressions of Ritual was actually what happened after Ritual? Was the actual signing and the promo?
No, I'm sorry, I got to stop you there, because the first match, if you're not first, you're last. They say in the business, dude.
Or if you're not last, you're first.
Or exactly.
Last or first. Yep.
Shout out to our boy Channing Decker. Okay. And G-Raver, they put on a hell of a. It wasn't what I expected it to be. George,
blood.
I know.
Right.
George promoted it as
a bloody mess,
don't
a
bring your
massacre.
kids. If you bring your kids, you're gonna sit in the thing. Blah blah blah. And I think even I'm calling you out, Kelly. I think she didn't come to the show that day because of this match. I'm calling you out. And and there was just a little friction of blood. It was crazy. Thumbtacks. I never seen that. I've seen it on television, but live, I've never seen the light bulbs thing.
Yeah, the tubes are
The
wicked.
tubes are
I thought
crazy.
that pop-
crazy.
I
wicked.
thought the tattooed needles to the forehead.
Oh, that was amazing.
On it. How's that amazing? That's gross.
I've seen no.
Like straight up.
No, those are clean needles, dude. Channing wouldn't have done that.
If you want gross, you go watch Masada with the barbecue skewers. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm going to throw my comment with that match. I thought that match was great, but again, this was a problem. Yeah, I always have the butts.
I know the butts coming. I know why it's coming. I know why it's coming.
Why do you think it's coming?
Because I know why.
No,
I know why.
I don't think you do.
Because yes, I do. Because you're a kinesiology guy, and you didn't like some of the spots.
No, actually, no, it's not that.
Okay, sorry, my bad. I take my words back.
Right?
I take it back. I apologize.
Let's talk about wrestling and how it should be done. There's always 3 big spots in a hardcore match. One is where the heel gets the upper hand on the face, right?
Okay.
Second one is where the heel turns on the face and it gets momentum back. The third is the finish.
Okay.
All right, so 3 devastating spots. They were all there.
Yeah.
But the problem with ECW was the same problem I saw with Chad Decker and
G Raver.
G Raver. Sorry, I was going to call him Raver something else. I think the spot where he took the cinder block and crushed his balls with another cinder block should have been the final spot. I should have been Chad Decker doing it to G Raver to finish the match, because I've seen guys powerbomb through tables from the top rope over and over and over again. It's not memorable. Now, I've never seen a guy's balls get crushed by a cinder block. I thought that spot was more deadly, or more stood out more, because you don't see that. And you know what? I would have liked that to have been the finish, because that would have been a different finish than from a traditional, I'll put you through a table.
Or either something after the tattoo needles.
Something like that, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think ECW had this biggest problem, which was my pet peeve. You see Rhino pile drive a guy from the apron through a table to the outside, and the guy gets up at 2, and then he gores him, and it's a 1, 2, 3. Like, you know what I mean? I always hated that.
I'm not disagreeing
so
with you
that's
on
my
that,
thing
in that
match.
aspect. I don't think that could have been the finish. In my opinion, the finish should have been where they went through the light bulbs, and then. Like,
that's fine.
For me, that was crazy. I loved it. Like that pop, and then everybody's like, the roar, and then G Raver's bleed, and then obviously, it was called a blood ritual match.
Yeah. So
and then G Raver gets cut, and there's the blood. Like, that's in my opinion. There's only a little bit of blood.
I think that spot was designed to sell the patch itself, the blood ritual match, but. Like, we were chanting balls of steel after Chad Deckham gets up and starts pounding him.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, bro. That's not selling. That's terrible selling in my eyes. Like, you just took a cinder block. G Raver crushed a cinder block on top of another cinder block where the guy's balls was.
He hulked up, man.
Yeah, man.
He hulked up.
Yeah. He Joey Ryan, bud.
But
shit.
That was my
Joey Ryan.
That was my pet peeve. That's something I give credit to. I know you're gonna hate this, but with WWE, they get their spots more in line better with stuff like that.
That's because they have
right?
to.
Don't get
you know
me
what
wrong,
I mean?
Man.
But
that was my favorite match of the night.
I said the same thing. That's what I'm saying. My favorite match too.
No, it's fine, but I just think the spots were out of order. I like to have seen the guy's balls get crushed at the end. 1, 2, like maybe even sell like a puke or something, or him spilling up blood through the mouth, seeing he has internal injuries. You pin him 1, 2, 3, the match is over. It goes with the theme of the blood ritual match. Well, the guy's balls got crushed. He probably has internal bleeding. You could sold that, and Bob's your uncle. Like, you know what I mean?
I knew Edson was gonna come with some kind of metaphorical fucking answer. There goes another F-bomb. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing good this time. Though.
I don't know. You guys.
Last show I did like at least 100 F-bombs, so I'm doing pretty good.
I think we should just take a poll and say, okay, what spot you think should have been the end spot, right? Because a table through.
Do a poll. That's not a bad question.
You know what I mean?
But you gotta also
power bomb through tables all the time. It's lost its effect.
I gotta also say, like, with what they have, like you're comparing it to like a WWE show.
No, I'm just comparing the spots. The spots were fine. I just think they were all out of order. I would have liked to have seen
structure, match structure.
I'm talking about match structure. Like, you know what I mean? And that spot, I'm saying the spot where he got his balls crushed by a cinder block was more devastating than going through a table. Even though it was from the top rope, I've seen that happen so many times, and you know what? I've seen people kick out of it so many times.
Okay.
So it's like, I would have liked to have seen that spot for the end, and still put Chad Decker on top, 1, 2, 3, whatever, or G Raver, whoever, but that spot should have been the last spot of the match, and then done.
To be honest, I'm used to this whole deathmatch thing and the whole total disorganization of the spots.
I've seen it too.
I mean, King of the Deathmatch, the other week I've watched the one where Foley and Terry were in the final, right? So that whole tournament, even the lower matches, everything was totally out of whack.
Yeah.
I think that's what deathmatch wrestling is. It's kind of like a call on the spot. Like you go in with your ideas and then you call the match on the spot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and when you see spots like that, it shows they didn't think it out. Right, because again, that spot was so impactful that should have been saved towards the end. It's the same thing with like Rhino would pile drive a guy through a table from the mat apron. That should have been the final spot of the match. I thought, because that's so devastating. You pile drive a guy through a table, right? But no, he throws him in the ring. It's a 1-2. It's only a 2 count. Then the match goes on. He gores the guy once, and it's a 3 count. To me, it was. I think they should have.
Yeah, but they're selling his finisher more or less, right?
Right.
Did he not
My
give
opinion.
him? Did he not give him? What did he give him at the end of the match? He gave him the finisher he does, right?
It was a power bomb to end it.
No, it was a power bomb through a table.
The plywood on
To
the chairs.
plywood.
Yeah, it was a man-made table.
With the tacks on it. With
No,
the tacks on
no,
it?
no.
There was tacks all over the ring, man.
tacks
I think
all over
the
the
ref
ring.
had a tack on his knee at one point.
I talked to Channing afterwards. I'm like, Bud, how did those tacks feel? I completely forgot about the tattoo needles, and
That was so gross.
somehow, that guy George McRae has one. He caught one, I guess. He's sitting front row. So, but whatever. Either way, I forgot to ask him about that, but he told me the worst part about the match. To be honest with you, he got tacks in his fingertips. He said.
You see him pull it out.
You see him pull. He's like, Steve, I've gone through tacks before, and he's like, these were the worst ones I've ever had.
Yeah, you see
he's like, I couldn't get them out for the life of me. He's like, they were in so much pain, and the bedded in my nails and shit.
Probably
and I was
touching
like,
the nerve and
you
stuff.
poor
Ugh.
thing, man. Thank you. I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
And back to that, Channing didn't even realize we were there. He didn't know we were there.
No?
Did you know that? You remember
No,
that?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? No. He's like, Steve, you're here, and I was like, what the hell? You think I missed this shit? He's like, is Shawn here? I'm like, yeah, he's right over there. He's like, you guys were here the whole time? I'm like, dude, we were in the corner in the back. You didn't hear us chanting your shit? And he's like, that was you guys. I had a feeling one of you guys were here. And he's like, I just didn't see you. You were too dark. I was like, and then he asked me for a shirt. Another guy who wants one of our shirts, which is great.
Badass.
I mean,
This is the shit they're talking about.
yeah, that's
by
a
the
Stogie
way.
Mania
And
shirt.
coming soon to Pro Wrestling Tees. We're working on that, so
Yes,
it will be available to the general public on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Plug
So
that.
stoked. So stoked about that.
Attaboy, plug it.
Yes.
I love it.
Shameless plug. Why not?
Why not?
Honestly, for me, that was the match of the night.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm putting that ahead of every match.
Absolutely. It was the first match. It was the last match for me.
It's the most
No
memorable.
offense- no
it
offense.
was the most memorable match of the night. Next to me, for me, was Johnny Blackraft.
Of course
versus
it
PJ
was.
Black,
Did you
right?
see this guy?
Yeah, I
The
loved it.
bandana on the head.
Oh,
You should have
I was
heard him
all about
talking
it.
to Johnny, dude. He like I'm sitting behind him trying to get I just want him.
Oh,
I want him to sign my Destiny shirt, my Destiny freaking wrestling shirt. For those of you that don't know or have seen me at Destiny, know I have a shirt autographed by all the talent, and I wanted Johnny Impact and obviously PJ 450. So I had DM'd PJ before, and he knew I was coming, and he's like, yeah, after the show, find me and I'll sign it, no problem. But Johnny Impact, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get him a shirt. But this guy's in front of me, and dude, they're talking about WWE and this and that, and
I followed Johnny
I'm just
Morrison since the
I'm just like,
3 or 4
all right,
WWE days. I think
Edson,
it's
bro,
phenomenal.
you are marking out right now.
Yeah, I
Chill the-
totally was.
And then he's
I
like,
totally
oh, I'll
was.
take a bandana, and he's like, oh, and John, the way Johnny sold it, he's like, oh, it's I wore this in the ring. Do you want it? He's, oh yeah, I'll take one, sure.
I'll buy it.
He's dropping
He
like
could've-
50s on the table and shit. Gets
Yeah.
a shirt.
He could have sold me ice. I would have bought it.
Oh,
What are you
for
talking
sure, you
about?
would have, for sure. And in the meantime,
sure.
Simon Gotch is like sitting over here in the corner.
I felt so bad for him.
And he's just standing there with a bunch of chicks and shit. And no one's paying attention to the guy. And at one point, I'm like, "Is that him?" Because last time I saw him, he had the
wasn't- mustache.
Yeah,
You
not
didn't recognize
just a
him.
mustache though. Like he wasn't as built as he was now. I'm not saying he was overweight. Obviously, that's a gimme.
Yeah,
but
you're stating the obvious.
yeah, I'm stating the obvious. But at the end of the day, like he was way more chiseled or toned into WWE, and
Yeah.
then I even said, and I was like, I even look at Edson, I go, Edson, hey, that's Simon Gotch, and he does this. He goes behind everybody and like hides, like behind girls and shit, and he goes.
I was like, where?
He goes
disappeared.
he goes like this first. He goes. He doesn't say. He just goes, and then he hides. He kind of does like this little disappearing act. And I was like, well, I guess he didn't want us to call him Simon Gotch, right? And I said it out loud, right? And then he comes out running. He's like, man, I'm just playing with you. I'm like, no, man, I know. It's cool, man. Don't worry. I thought I offended you.
Such a
so
nice
he's super
guy.
nice guy. Everybody, obviously. That's what I love about this. Our indie wrestling is where the interaction with the wrestlers. You don't get that. Like, okay, I've been to WWE shows several times. I've been to, and I normally, I mark out and I go to the Rico shows. So
Right.
and I go like a couple hours before and
meet guys, yeah.
and I wait outside where they're coming in. It's always the same spot. Like they go in the same entrance. It's in the back. I've met Natty. I met the Bellas. I've met the Usos. You know, and I tried to meet John Cena. That prick. I screamed. He was in his bus the whole time, and I'm screaming for him to come out, and he never came out. Never came out. And then when he did come out, I'm like, yeah, John, what's going on, man? I'm like waving, can you sign me? He just walks right by me like fucking, like a ghost. It was great. So, and that's like right there. Like slowly, I started losing my faith in Cena. So, but sorry, I went off topic a little bit there. But no, super. I love the indies, man.
And that's why you go out to an indie.
Yep.
Honestly,
Yeah, for sure.
That's a lasting impression is the interaction that you get with the stars who come in and the local stars, and then you get to talk to them, congratulate them after your match. And
I met Ace Austin. I thought he was just like, I had no idea who this guy was.
I met him before. He's cool.
Match.
He just got signed to Impact too.
He got signed to Impact too, and I love his gimmick.
I met.
You guys don't know, he's just basically a walking Gambit. And
he's like, he is Gambit.
He's a magician. He's
or
awesome.
or I called him at first Austin Aries stunt double. That's when I first saw him.
Man.
Oh my god, he walked, he talked, and then he started doing the magician thing. I'm like, okay, he's got his little gimmick, but the way he wrestled to me like looked just like Austin Aries, and I was like, wow, he's got a friggin' and Aries was on that card that night. Was a funny thing. So
no, I think a guy like Ace Austin has a high ceiling.
Oh, he's really good, man.
He's
good.
really talented.
He's really
what
good.
I saw, and very fluid in the ring.
Very good.
He was great to watch. I enjoyed the show, but most of it from after. See, the two matches I remember was John Blackraft versus PG Black. And
Johnny Timbits, bro.
Johnny Timbits. What's up? I actually hope he takes my name. I told him when are you gonna start calling him Johnny Champion? He's like, he's like, I'm actually thinking I'm gonna take that one. You're a champion everywhere you go. You might as well take it.
I actually messaged him like a day later, and he messaged me back, and I was like, so when are you gonna like? I told him like, dude, when you perform on Impact in Toronto, you need to do Johnny Timbits. Fuck. I'm like, screw Johnny Impact.
Yeah.
Be Johnny Timbits, come out with an ice cap,
yeah.
a shit ton of Timbits, and start whipping it out to us. And he's like, it's a thought in my head. He's like,
he's short.
Like, I don't
he has
think
a bunch of one-liners. He's just very short.
I don't think he could do the Johnny Timbits thing because obviously it's a copyright and shit, right?
Yeah.
So he won't be able to pull that off. But just
I told him Johnny Champion, and he said, I'm probably gonna take that and run with it. I'm like, hey, take it and run with it all you want, buddy. Because like honestly, he's probably the best talent, and like on Impact, on Blackraft Wrestling, anywhere under Lucha Underground, like the guy can do almost anything. Like, and for me, that's what I think.
I mean, that was your match, but I've already seen Johnny and PJ several times. I watched Lucha Underground from season 1 to season 5, and they did so much stuff together.
Yeah.
They even ran together at one point. They have their own faction, like the Underground. Something Underground.
Johnny Underground. That's his name.
Something. No, he's Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo. Sorry,
Underground Crew or something like, which is him, obviously Taya, PJ, and Jack Evans. Jack Evans, another lucha dude. This guy can fly. If you ever catch a show with that guy, wow, I'm waiting.
Right.
That guy's amazing. But that being said, I already knew what I expected. It was going to be more of a comedic. That's the way they've been wrestling. Like they're best friends, basically.
It was a one-upsman match. He was
in his wedding party and all that nonsense. Like they're good friends. Like for years, even back in the WWE, apparently they were friends already.
Yeah.
Like
they said 13 or 16 years, something like that.
Justin was coming in and he was going out or something along those lines, but they stayed connected some way or another. So they wrestled on the indies, obviously. But I mean, I knew what I expected. I knew it was going to be a comedic thing. Like after they said, "Oh, you'll buy me a steak dinner or whatnot," and then I just want some ice caps and Timbits. And right off that promo, I was like, okay, this is going to be like a joking match. Like it's not going to be serious, nitty gritty, like grounded pound type of thing, right? So, and then. I mean, they did a great job. But I knew that. But they did have a botch.
Yeah,
they did have a botch.
I think there's a botch in almost every Johnny's matches because of his style. Like he had a botch at Homecoming with Brian Cage at the end. Unfortunately, right? Like when you do that style of wrestling, when you're off the ropes a lot, there's going to your chances of botching a match are a lot higher.
Yeah.
Right. But like because of those little things, that match was memorable because it told a story. Like the ending was great, Spanish Fly into Starship Game, 1, 2, 3. But them trying to like shake each other's hands. Okay, we're not going to cheat, but behind their hands, their fingers are crossed. They knew what the other one was going to do. They sold us, I'm one up you. I'm one better than you. That's how they sold it. That's how the story went, and that's what I remember it, right?
Yeah.
Because, again, it kind of talks to what Casey Spinelli and I were talking about. And
Shout out to Casey Spinelli.
2 scoops.
Two
What's going
scoops.
on? I marked over her harder than I
Oh
probably
yeah,
marked
we
over
know.
John Morrison.
We'll tell a
man.
story one day. We heard the story. Actually,
Yeah.
she's told me the story.
Oh wow! But the whole, so the 2 spots for me were the PJ Black, and I mean PJ Black versus Johnny Blackraft, but also Chad Decker versus their hardcore match,
G Raver.
Okay. And the rest of the night was a blur. The rest of the night was blur because I felt the matches were almost identical to each other. There was nothing that stood them apart from each other. Is what I'm trying to get at, right? Except for that women's match, which wasn't the greatest
God, that was
because
a
of that. Yeah,
That was
because of
mania, man.
yeah,
That girl who came in.
that
to wrestle.
wasn't-
Normally Shotzi Blackheart's a hell of a. She's
Yeah.
she's a pretty good talent. I've seen her a few times now.
Yeah.
And she can actually.
they dropped the ball with that
She
match.
did a
I'm
few
gonna
good
say
spots,
that.
but that was like a short notice match.
No, and
set
that's
up.
fine,
Like I
and
think
that's
it's like 2
fine.
weeks, so they didn't know each other. I don't believe.
And that's fine,
why
but
it was like that.
and that's what
my
Casey
opinion.
and I were talking about was that and she said herself, he goes, you're not going to remember this person doing a 450 splash off the top rope. You're going to just remember person in the purple tights won over the person of the blue tights. Like, you know what I mean? You try to describe a match. That's without storytelling.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You're not going to remember. You're not going to get emotionally invested into the match.
Yeah, absolutely.
That hardcore match was easy to get emotionally invested because they did some pretty gruesome stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So it was easy to get, and it was also the first match of the night. Great way to start off. Then we went match, whatever that was, match. And then John Blackraft and PG Black came on, and they took a while to get going, but they were comedic. They told a story. It was like they created a break to build up the emotion that was left the energy left in the building.
Sort of like the intermission that we
We
never really got.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
They did deliberately to try to pull your attention. Okay, why are you guys starting off with this? And they made it comedic. They were on the mics. They were having fun. We started laughing and chucking and stuff like that because that's how you got into the match.
No, absolutely.
Right?
They
And
did
then-
a good job.
you
I'm
know
not
what I mean?
taking that
So-
away from them.
No, it's right.
Well,
but
it wasn't a match
so-
of the night for me though.
No,
I
it
already
wasn't.
established
No,
that.
yeah, and
not my style anymore. Like I like the comedic wrestling, but I like that nitty gritty shit. I honestly think Josh's match was better than theirs.
That's fine.
in my opinion.
That's fine.
I've seen. I knew it was going to be a high flying thing and whatnot and this and I've seen them both so much already, so I knew what was going to happen. And I hadn't seen Grim or Gotch, whatever he wanted to be called, and I was kind of excited about like, okay, they've got a new face here. I've never seen this guy before, so I want to see what he can do. And then he kind of shit the bed on me too a little bit.
He was great with the Vaudevillains.
Yeah,
I thought
I
so.
think he's
Yeah.
the one who carried the team.
No, he
carried-
did
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, that Aiden. What's his name? Aiden English.
Aiden
whatever
English,
his name?
yeah.
You know what?
he's
This sounds bad to say, but it's almost like Gosh had a heart, like he has some demons in the closet type of thing.
Demons.
You know what I mean? Like maybe drugs or alcoholism.
Are we-
got
It
the
looked like
best
he
of
didn't
him.
want to really be there
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I think
during the match.
During
like
the match.
his posture and everything.
No, I mean,
Especially after that guy made a comment about his saggy titties.
Oh, absolutely,
I told the
dude,
fan,
come on.
fuck you.
Yeah.
And I
That's
was
why
like,
he wasn't
oh,
out there.
shit.
That's why he wasn't
No.
out there signing
Well,
afterwards.
no,
Yeah.
it wasn't that. It was because
he was in the back.
It was to sell the story when he got carried away by those
Yeah.
druids.
no, he
That's
was
why.
actually. Yeah, not only that, he was actually doing in the back with Ambi doing a
Interview?
shooting an interview. So
No.
I seen it.
Hey,
already.
shouts to Blackraft Wrestling. They put on.
They did great. The only thing
They had
that
some
they
great
dropped the
matches.
ball on, I gotta say it, was that stupid guy that didn't show up, who was billed to show up.
Preacher.
That
Preacher.
was sure.
Yeah,
That's
Preacher.
the.
He
I didn't
should've been there in
care.
person.
Honest to
Yeah,
God, I didn't
right.
care that he didn't show up. To me, the wrestling's told the story for me.
Right.
But for him to appear on the monitor or whatever it was, and then they told us he was going to be there, and then he wasn't there. It's like some people
Yeah.
were expecting him to be there. Like
And that's the problem with
shout
indie
out to
wrestling,
Denny.
right?
Denny's girlfriend or fiance or wife I'm not sure.
Girlfriend.
was
Yeah.
was really excited to meet him and didn't get the chance to because he didn't show up.
Right.
So
I find that so Destiny got it was pinned as Blackraft versus Destiny.
Yeah.
right?
So one competitor from each promotion
Yeah.
Type of
squaring
thing.
off.
right.
Destiny did get the win.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. We
It
were
was-
counting. Remember?
It was 4-2, but last time I saw it, my last
we won
count,
big time, dude. We
but
blew them
were
out of the water.
Yeah.
But this was more so a Blackraft pay-per-view.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys, especially after watching the full broadcast, because I did come home and I did purchase it on Fight.
like he said, like he said he was going
Like
to.
I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
I did it the very first time. I purchased it, and for the first IPPV, and I did it again.
Shawn, by the way, let me stop. I'm sorry. I know I'm cutting you off and we shouldn't do this, but Shawn was so pissed half the time because they had the red lights
over
Yeah.
your
going on the whole time, and on his DJ aspect. And as a fan, he's like, "Shut the fucking lights off already!" Like at
Yeah.
one point,
Yeah.
he's
And
like,
then they didn't. Once they turned off, nobody bothered to turn them back on for the entrances.
Yeah. Shawn was like, "Oh, they finally turned the
But
lights off."
that's one of the things that I go in with, like you, Edson, like how you have the eye for safe work and unsafe work.
Right.
Yep.
I have the eye for like audio and lighting.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that kind of thing really gets at me. Either distorted
Yep.
music, which I find it's either Kobe Durst's theme, or that's completely distorted, or their levels in the back there that are
Right.
completely off. Low mics when they should be a little bit higher. And then those lights. But aside from that, I mean, George puts on a hell of a show,
Oh hell
Yeah.
right? But this pay-per-view was totally...
A Blackraft.
It was a
wrestling,
Blackraft pay-per-view.
Well, the Druids, the spots of the Druids kind of gave it away.
The stories.
The Preacher being up
Yeah.
there. I'm like, this is a Blackraft dominant pay-per-view.
But it was great to get the wins, though.
Oh,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
I mean, I had a great.
Oh.
I have great times at all these shows, and I've experienced it. Like I did Rinku a couple months ago, and that was an amazing experience.
Right.
And I'm gonna do it again on the 24th. Jannings already asked me,
Oh,
or I've
yeah?
asked him if he wanted me to come, and he said it's cool, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna be there. So, I mean,
Sweet.
that's a different, whole different ball game when you see the other side of it.
Yep. I was able to go behind the curtain. with the talent
I don't want to
after you
leak
guys left.
anything. I don't want to, say anything out of the ordinary or even like out of context because it's not cool. But the way I see Destiny and all these promotions coming up, like he said, like for a pay-per-view, I don't think that was Menzies' fault. I think that was more ritual, Blackraft's side where they did all the audio and they did all and they really, from my opinion, they dropped the ball. And like if you're doing it, you're shooting an IP pay-per-view, whatever it is, the knockoff pay-per-view.
Yep.
And you can't get your sound right. Some of your mics are shit in the bed.
Mind you, the sound on the broadcast was all right.
Yeah, in the
No, so
broadcast.
you-
Sound on the broadcast
of
was okay.
course.
But I mean, out there, like the distorted audio. But that's not only on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's been
It's
the
happened
last few
everywhere.
shows
Yeah.
that has been like really distorted. But
But what I'm saying
that's
is
just
like
me being anal about the whole
No, no,
audio
no,
thing and
no,
having
That's
an ear.
just, have an
right?
ear for it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that bothered me a little bit too. It's like, holy shit, like, come on, like, how many times have we done this now? You guys can't get it right. In my opinion, I'm not trying to knock anybody.
It comes with
But-
excitement too. When you're
Absolutely.
excited and you're caught up in a moment, you
Yeah.
forget to press a button.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I've
Yeah.
done it.
It was
There's also
done it.
so much going on. Like I saw George running around. And
Oh,
back-
that's
he's
how he is.
always like that.
man.
Trying.
Always.
You
yeah.
could
He
tell.
doesn't stop.
I think there was one time even.
Shout out to George Menzies.
George the
Yes,
Iceman.
Great guy.
There was even one time I saw like he called an audible, and when we got those before we got the Druids that came out, those other wrestlers came out, and like you could tell the wrestlers in the ring had no idea what to do.
No,
because
absolutely.
He
They're
called an
just like,
audible.
yeah.
Audible.
No, then he's like, kill him. Like,
Yeah.
he's just like, kill him. Or who was that dude with the leopard print? He was actually in CCW.
Yeah.
He did a huge match with Janela. I've been watching Janela's shit for this past week, and that dude is mental.
Oh yeah.
He's not right. He's 28 years old, and
His rating's gonna live till 35.
his most
Really?
famous spot is, you're never gonna want to watch it. I'm telling you right
Is it
now.
the one off the roof?
It's the stupidest thing ever for him to do. He jumps. Listen, not only do they jump off a roof, they land in a bed of a truck that has plywoods, barbed wire,
And light tubes.
light tubes everywhere. He even says it himself in an interview with Jericho the other. Like I was listening to it. The barbed wire was unnecessary. I landed on it and lost my thumb got severed off.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's like, unnecessary. We thought it was a great idea at one point, and then when we got up there, we're like, shit, the truck is too close. So the dude that took the bump shattered his hips
Jeez.
because he had to come down in order for them to live. He had to come down feet first, basically like a pencil dive.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
he braces the whole entire fall with his legs and then drops him into the back. So he basically shattered his hips after the whole
Incident off the spot.
And for a death match, like, that's completely crazy.
But that's my type of wrestling.
Yeah, Shawn's sick like that.
Oh,
Shawn's sick.
And Channing's bringing it back.
Yes, he is. Yes,
Channing is bringing the hardcore back.
He is. So, which is great.
Well,
is great.
if this type of wrestling keeps going on, we're going to be going through talent faster than anything, man.
No, but you know what?
Jesus
I
Christ, man.
think there's a time and a place for it.
Yeah.
Okay, and if it's done right,
And a feud.
and a feud, yeah,
And a feud.
and if it's done right, it's not. It doesn't come off so strong to me like that. I enjoy it. I embrace it because, I mean, I was an ECW fan myself. So
like
it
sounds
I know
like
some of it's unsafe. I know some of it
was
but man,
stupid, man. Like, come on, like realistically, okay, it looked like you have the image of going to the bed of a truck, but have like mats layered there. So no one needs to see you go into the truck.
Yeah, but that's
Just
CCW, man. They're just nuts, dude. They're
well,
nuts.
like
You should see his match with Leo Rush.
You're gonna like,
Leo Rush does some messed up shit in that promotion, man. Like I watched their dude,
including no selling a table spot.
Oh man, just insane shit that they do. But
at that point, that's not.
I don't know.
wrestling
I don't know
anymore.
where the hell they're gonna put him in AEW. I have no idea because he's signed and if he's gonna bring out a hardcore division or whatever
Jimmy Havoc.
Jimmy Havoc.
I mean him and Havoc, but they're gonna do all the time just him and Havoc. Like they got to bring in more talent than that.
I was
Gotta be more.
when Casey and I were talking about it, and I told her my disdain for like that type of hardcore wrestling. Like I don't mind hardcore wrestling, but again, certain circumstances, certain matches. Like I liked Mick Foley going through the burning table with Edge at WrestleMania. I thought that was told appropriately. Like I thought that was a great grudge match. So it's not like I'm anti.
Yeah, but one more thing, and it wasn't necessary to light the table on fire.
No,
you call a spade a spade.
Well,
Call
no,
a spade
it's not.
a spade. What do you mean it's not?
No. You're right. No, you're right.
Okay,
it's not
okay.
necessary.
Okay,
I agree with you.
Okay,
it wasn't
yeah.
necessary.
Like they're gonna go through the
But-
table already. Yeah, it's cool shit. The thing's on fire, wicked, but unnecessary.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Unnecessary.
It's the visual.
Yeah,
It's the visual, yes.
Yeah.
And
It looked sick. It looked
Yeah.
amazing, in my opinion, but some people don't think so.
But like now, even when they do a spot like that, what happens? They get stuffed up by fire extinguishers just for the extra precaution, right? Like, you know what I mean? So like, it just when you get to that hardcore wrestling, and Casey agreed with me because a lot of wrestlers don't like that. That's not like that style of wrestling because it's not wrestling. It becomes more of a circus, and at that point, it's like I'd rather go watch a circus than go see stupid shit like that. And that's just the way I'm glad I'm not the only person that feels that way because she was telling me a lot of wrestlers she doesn't like it either. It's like it is not necessary. And she was explaining to me why people do that. And for them, that's their WrestleMania moment. They know deep down inside, this is as high as I'm going to be. I'm never going to get any higher. I am not going to be the main event at WrestleMania or at AEW pay-per-view or Impact Bound for Glory pay-per-view. I am not going to be the main event. This is it for me. So I might as well go out in the bang and try to be as memorable as possible. And that's why they do spots like that.
I mean, of course, obviously they're trying to steal the show at the end of the day. But
They're trying to create that lasting impression from what you saw.
I'm like a kid in a candy store when I see that shit. I don't care what anybody says. Like, no offense to the wrestlers, but hey, I'm not going through the damn table. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
like, and
some things you're right. Like, I was at Greektown a couple months ago. It's a Thursday night. Okay, the place is packed, and he's doing it for Detroit Eatery that burnt down the prior week, and Channing's doing the show for them, and all kinds of following. So many people there. It was a great show. And at the end of the show, like, he's having a great match with Chris Dickinson. He's already gone, like, he's already done a tope over the top rope and landed on the ground, and you hear like thud, like boom, and I'm just like, holy shit. And then, you know, it goes back and forth, but at the end of the match, he climbs into like it was done it's done at a church, and there's like 2 levels.
It's kind of like
a balcony.
It's like the Greek Hammerstein ballroom.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, so there's a balcony, and they set up a ladder, and he climbs the ladder, gets into the balcony, climbs on the edge of the balcony, and does a moonsault.
Over he had to clear the entranceway. He had to clear the audio equipment.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, does a phenomenal moonsault. And sells it. Like, everybody comes out of from the back. All the wrestlers came out, and just amazing, just the way it went. And it's just like, holy shit! Like, this just happened.
That was a lasting impression because I know friends of mine, who went to that show, and that was the spot that they took away. Like, they took that home.
Oh,
with
absolutely. I'm still thinking about it.
And that's why, when I was with KC, that she and I were talking, that's why they do it. They do it because those guys probably know, like Cham Decker, maybe he knows that he's not going to be at AEW.
No,
he can throw down.
No, hell yeah.
He's the next one.
No,
Yeah,
hang on. I'm not
absolutely.
saying
Coming out of Ontario.
I'm not saying he's not going to, but he wants to make every match count because if he doesn't get to that level, he's done everything he could to get to that level.
Honestly, no. I
Right?
think he's
I
just
think.
trying to reestablish that hardcore wrestling.
He's an ECW fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can confirm
Absolutely.
that.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
confirm that.
You can confirm.
I can confirm
I'll
that.
deuce that confirm
I can
too.
confirm
I'm
it. Every
on it,
time I
yeah.
post something ECW, it's like
He's
He likes it?
1,000%.
Yeah.
Comments,
1,000%. And I mean, like, he's got his own promotion, Greektown Wrestling, and he's brought in. So far, I've seen him bring in
All these
Tajiri.
CW guys, yeah.
He's brought in
McFoley?
Tommy McFoley. He brought in
Mikey Whipwreck,
Mikey
Whipwreck,
Jazz,
Jazz.
Little Guido's coming.
Guido's coming in a couple weeks, right?
24th, yeah.
24th.
Right.
So I mean, that's his thing, and I'm not gonna shit on his parade. I love it. I'm a fan. I love that shit.
I was sold the first day.
I mean, Shawn.
I went for Foley
So-
and I stayed for Greektown.
I mean,
Oh, yeah?
Sean's been
yeah.
Sean's been chirping me for like a good 8 months. Oh, you gotta come to a Greektown. Greektown's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, but I really like Destiny's atmosphere. Like, if I go, I feel like I'm cheating. But at the end of the day,
You're
it's
not.
like I'm not.
Wrestling's wrestling.
So wrestling's wrestling. I'm gonna go enjoy this. I'm gonna.
Right.
Okay, Shawn. You know what? Let's do it. I'm gonna go. We made the plans. I finally went to. We shot our first vlog that day.
Yeah.
Great day. Shawn got asked to DJ. Yada yada yada. My first show, and I mean, from bell to bell. Once again, like it's so in your face. I never sat that close to a ring. Like I've sat close, but.
Yep.
The last time I did that was at Destiny, but I sat a little further back, but I was pretty close to the damn ring. And the way Greektown goes is like they come out and they brawl, man. Like
Yep.
the girls, the dudes, and they brawl.
Yeah.
And I
It's
mean,
like ROH.
it was so close to me, like, and I was like this. I was like, holy shit! Like I didn't know what to do. Like my
Right.
reaction was, this is awesome, but what do I do? I'm so scared at this point, you know. And I was sold like
I
right
have a
away.
funny
I talked to Channing afterward, and I had spoken to him at Destiny a few times already, and I was just like, man, you have a believer in me now, you know what I mean? And then he reached out, and then I reached out to him about he was doing that show on Thursday, and I was like, man, I'd love to come. And he's like, well, why don't you just come and help me set up? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, just come help set up, and you can stay around and watch the show. I mean, really? He's like, yeah, just come. And I was like, I even like I asked him like 6 times, like, because I was like, I think this guy's ribbing me. And then that's how dude, super nice guy. Like he portrays like the hardcore Channing Decker thing, which is awesome. But Channing's a super cool dude, super nice guy, and I've talked to him a handful of times, and you know, great guy. So and
He's one hell of a performer.
what he's doing, the craft that he's making, like he's a great tag man. He's got a tag partner, his brother Trent. The fraternity, they're a great tag team, which is what they're going to do on the 24th, is going to tag up against Tajiri and Whipwreck. They're a great tag team, and they've been wrestling for years together.
Right.
And like the way he's broken out, and now he's doing his own thing, it's just, for me,
I have respect for him for trying to revive a dying or dead aspect of wrestling, like
Oh, hell
because
yeah.
hardcore wrestling
isn't
has been kind of like swept under the rug for the last few years, right? You do have like Impact that still brings it up, or ROH still brings it up, right? So, but to be the forefront of your promotion, that's another thing, right?
It's not.
It's not though.
It's not. Greektown. Back to your point of saying that you're feeling that you're cheating on Destiny with Greektown.
Yeah. It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. I didn't feel the same.
Can I? Because you've never been to Greektown. I'm gonna say it like this: Destiny, but 19 plus.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Alcohol
Absolutely.
served.
Yes.
Right.
All that jazz.
Yeah.
Fantastic wrestling. Half the talent you'll see at Greektown,
Yeah.
you
Goes
see
to
at Destiny.
Oh,
Right.
and other promotions as well.
And,
Yeah.
as well as other promotions.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not the forefront. As hardcore wrestling isn't the forefront of Destiny.
Right.
It's not the forefront of Greektown.
Okay, because it sounds like it was making the next ECW.
No.
No.
Well, even then, ECW had great wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh yes, for sure,
Yeah,
sure. Right?
But Greektown has great wrestling.
But
that's what I'm saying.
But the
absolutely.
forefront of ECW was hardcore wrestling. It was
Yeah.
different, right? That's why.
So that being said, like, just to talk about this, so I saw Chris Dickinson at the end of Destiny, the Ritual Blackraft show, and I said, "Man, that was a great match you had tonight with Elgin." He's like, "Yeah, thanks, bud." I was like, "I saw you at Greektown a few months ago." He's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "That's when Channing did that crazy spot," and it's the one I just told about. So even the wrestlers are thinking like, wow, that was cool. Like that was a good a way to take home the show, basically.
Yeah.
So for the wrestlers to like his colleagues, I'm gonna say colleagues, right? His guys appreciate what he's doing. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
I'm sure
He's
does.
doing he's doing something right. I'm just saying,
Like,
you know.
in the end of the day, whether you agree with it or not, you have to respect the person for jumping off a ladder, off a second balcony, through something. Now, Again, you could be like that other spot where a guy jumps off the roof through a truck. That was stupid, but like you still respect the guy for doing something like that to try and entertain the people.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Like that's all. It's opinionated whether you think it's cool or it's stupid.
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah.
At the end of the day,
No, there's certain things you
There's a
can-
level of respect that okay, nobody else would do that, right? And so that's where you respect the athlete. I call all professional wrestlers athletes, not performers. I call them athletes, and so I respect the athlete for doing that.
they call each other workers.
Yeah, they do. They
Just
do.
saying.
You got that from behind the curtain.
Right.
No, I didn't. I told you I've been listening to Jericho's podcast religiously since Dave told me about it, and that's all they keep saying: workers this, workers that,
Yes,
workers
yeah.
this, workers that. Or are you going to do the job? That's
Yeah.
another thing
The
they say.
job.
Who's going to do the job? Who's going to do the job?
The favors.
The job,
But-
right? So yeah,
Like again, opinions all aside, you respect. This is why I give so much respect for athletes of wrestling nature, especially even in WWE, where they're working 300 plus days out of the year,
that's just insane.
more
man.
than any
People
other.
talk about that so much.
More than any other athlete in the world, nobody works more than a WWE athlete at this time. I'm not going to call him a sports entertainer. Go screw yourself, Vince McMahon. I am not going to call him that. There's still
Oh,
athletes.
don't call a belt either, bud. It's
No,
not a belt.
A belt.
It's not a belt.
No.
It's a title.
It's a title.
It's a championship title.
With that being said, guys, let's do our little sign off. What are you guys up to this following week? Or what do you
Well,
guys
we
have
know
planned?
Shawn. Spoiler alert: Sean's marking out and going to the live event for WWE.
I'm
Just kidding,
going
just kidding.
strictly to buy SummerSlam tickets with the pre-sale.
We already know this.
when is this happening?
Friday.
This at the time of recording this Friday.
Yeah, this
So-
Friday.
What
so
time Friday?
It's March 9th, I believe, is it?
Yeah, March 9th.
March 9th, Friday.
So I
evening.
guess I'm going to in the evening or the morning.
Evening.
Live event.
At the live event.
Yeah.
Shoot, I didn't even know about this. Is there tickets still available?
Spoiler
Oh,
alert.
probably they don't sell it anymore.
Oh, please, dude. They're probably giving away tickets.
Oh,
Just
this
saying.
is not WCW, man.
Listen. I went to Ellen DeGeneres on Sunday. This is completely off topic, but the last time I was at Scotiabank was for SmackDown and Raw. I went to Ellen DeGeneres on Sunday evening.
And she outsold
She
SmackDown and Raw.
sold out the Scotiabank Arena twice in one day.
Right.
Okay, over SmackDown and Raw, dude. I was so like, this is bullshit.
Right.
And I mean, I got nothing against Ellen, but something's wrong. I'm just saying, like, something's really wrong.
There's a difference though too, right? How many times WWE's up here compared to how many times Ellen's up here?
It doesn't matter
Right,
though,
but
man.
There's a big SJW movement.
I
with
put
women's
I put
rights and stuff like
I put WWE on this pedestal all my life, man. It's up
Yep.
here. It's gonna always be up there. But now there is, which I love, is there's something else. There's something else. I don't have to watch. And I'm stupid because I didn't know we had such great wrestling in Ontario. I didn't. I swear to God, I didn't until these guys took me to House of Hardcore. I didn't even know. Let me tell you. I didn't even know like Ring of Honor came to Toronto. I had no idea.
You missed out.
I
man.
missed that out. But I went to the last one, but I had no idea Ring of Honor was coming to Toronto.
Yeah,
Oh, I
didn't have a
missed out with UWA back in the day because that was my style of wrestling.
Right.
See,
ROH,
like another thing. Like I
ROH
never
was
saw.
my style of wrestling. I saw them 3 times. They had maybe one hardcore match, which is fine, but ROH put on a great show. That's where the birth of the streamers came from. Was ROH?
Oh, absolutely.
from the
ROH does
streamers
that.
and
Yeah, that's great.
you know what I mean?
So Sean's going to that show. Do you have anything coming up for wrestling?
wise, I want to check out Greektown.
Probably Greektown on the
Greektown
24th. What about
right?
you? Are you going to
Awesome.
DJ at the 24th? Are you doing it?
I don't know yet.
Channing.
We'll have to wait
Channing.
and see.
Mic
Channing.
check. Channing Decker.
Channing,
Someone
are you
contact
listening?
DJ Sean Lopes and get. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna.
going to be there regardless, whether or not it's
Well, I
to
need to
spin
know-
during the meet and greet
I
or just
know.
to enjoy myself.
But I
I'm
just
going to be
wanna-
there regardless.
I gotta check out Greektown show.
I need to know
checked
if I'm
out that-
carpooling with you or not, bud. Jesus, because I'm going there to set up, so I don't even know what the hell how that's gonna work out.
Well, I
bud.
checked out
gonna
Destiny
be
show.
fun.
Now I gotta check out Greektown show.
I mean,
out
I
ROH.
highly recommend you just go to as many house shows or whatever indie shows you can, man, because these guys are hungry and they're chopping at the bit. And obviously, everybody says it like their ultimate dream is to wrestle in a WWE. Eventually, want to be there, but there's so many other things going on and I can't figure. I'm trying to say the word, but I can't say it. Someone help me here.
Some other avenues.
Not avenues. Other. Anyways, it'll come sooner
Other
than later.
directions?
Not directions. Other.
Opportunities.
They keep saying it. Oh my God, it's bothering the shit out of me.
All right. On that note, while you figure that out, for
Come
me,
on,
it's going to be
think.
Greektown Wrestling March 24th.
Yeah,
and then April 28th is Rebellion Impact.
Are you going to that?
I want to go to that.
I'm going to that.
If you guys go
Sean,
for
you
sure,
going to that?
I'm gonna try.
Sean,
It's kind of tough. I'm
Sean,
gonna try.
So
Sean, don't do it. don't do it.
Buy me a ticket and I'll go.
Oh,
okay.
okay. We're gonna start a GoFundMe fund
GoFundMe.
because I got to bring my kids.
Or you can buy my ticket to the Dominican and I'll buy my ticket to Rebellion. Either one.
If I buy your ticket to Dominican, motherfucker, I'm going to Dominican. What the shit?
Yeah.
Either
why
one.
would I
Choose
do
which
that?
one you want to pay, and
Right.
I'm fine with either or.
When is No Apologies Blackraft Wrestling? Is it May 4th? I think that's
going to be
good,
IPPV
Yeah,
as well.
IPPV, yeah.
I might just buy that afterwards.
That's going to
after
be
it
a good
airs.
show.
I mean, I might
because
come over to watch it if you're gonna buy
We
it.
might,
Yeah,
do,
so am I.
a Stogie Mania.
Sounds good to me.
I would like to do that because
We might have
they
some
have.
cigars.
When are we gonna do another live stream? That's what we start. Our bread and butter was live streams, and we haven't done one in shit. Last time was Hell in a Cell.
Alive?
Yeah,
Yeah.
was it Hell in a Cell
Yeah.
the last time we did?
I think so. No,
No.
Evolution.
Oh, Evolution. Yeah,
Evolution.
Women's Evolution was the last one we did. So that was fun. We need to do that one more time.
WrestleMania NXT is coming up. That's probably the perfect time to do it then.
No, Jay hosts that though. Doesn't he?
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, but not
WrestleMania Jays.
NXT.
NXT is the day before.
Oh, you
We
wanna
can
do
do
NXT?
NXT?
Yeah,
I
we
always
can
do
do
NXT anyway.
NXT's on the Friday.
I was gonna say SummerSlam.
Friday night.
I was gonna say SummerSlam, but you're marking out and you're going, so can't do SummerSlam.
Such a hater.
I was
over
gonna
here,
say,
right?
I mean, the next best thing, in my opinion, is gonna be May 25th, Double or Nothing, and that's when
That's
was
for sure.
That's
that
for
was
sure.
our I think, if not our best stream we've ever done.
Yeah.
Not you call me a mark if you'd like, but I think that was the
I
best streaming
think-
that we done.
I
The
think
timing was right, the weather was good, and you know what I mean. I mean, in my opinion, that
I
was
I'm
was
just looking forward to smoking a cigar and watching some good freaking wrestling with some
Absolutely.
good fucking people.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Um,
Hey, you threw like 6 F-bombs tonight. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
I think I scored less than you.
I
still.
think.
you
I think
definitely score less than me.
I
Everybody
think you
scores
both
less
are about
than me.
a dozen. Maybe you're about
Everybody
8.
scores less
You're
than
at
me.
a dozen.
But that being said, I'm gonna take a second right now and do a quick shout out to my buddy Wayne. I'm sorry guys, I know this is probably inappropriate, but my buddy Wayne's fighting cancer. He just had his surgery last night, 6-hour surgery. Shout out to you, Wayne. I love you, buddy. Keep fighting a good fight. I'll see you soon. I just had to do that. Sorry guys.
Yeah, man. No worries, man. Totally respect
said.
that.
He's and the reason why I said that, not only he's my best friend, I've known him for 20 years, but he and I were the one. That's who I would watch WrestleMania was with Wayne.
Oh, okay.
All these years, like he would order it. I'd go to. He used to have the black box. I didn't have that cool shit. He had the black box. We'd go watch it at his house, order pizzas, whatever, shoot the shit, and chill. We'd have parties watching it, whatever. So, and he's been falling out of wrestling, but since AEW started up, he's
back on board.
He's into it, and I'm gonna drag him out to Destiny or Greektown one day, and he's all for it. But obviously, the past 8 months, he's been battling this shit, and he's got a newborn, so he's gonna come eventually. He said so.
He's got a spot in the Stogie Mania family.
Absolutely,
for sure,
absolutely. He's gonna have a seat. So that being said,
Speaking of Stogie Mania family, what's up to Dave, Jay, the Don, your sister Sandra? Who else we're missing, man?
Phil,
sorry,
Chops
Phil,
Weber,
Chops Weber,
Rob,
And the other Rob.
the other Rob.
Wait, we have 2 Robs?
We have 2 Robs.
Who's
We
it?
got James's Rob and we got Dave's Rob.
Dave's Rob.
Oh, that's
Dave's
right.
James Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out. You know what? I had a text message today from Kelly.
Matt Amaral too, eh?
Bang Bang Pete,
Bang
buddy.
Bang
He
Pete.
started his training yesterday.
Yes.
He's at Battle Arts. He's taking his
Training for
wrestling. He's
for
getting
wrestling.
he's getting back into it. Oh yeah,
Getting
man.
his feet wet again.
He's getting his feet wet. He said he took an elbow and a bump yesterday, so he's pretty excited, and he reffed the match. So I don't know if he's gonna wrestle again, but at this point he's reffing.
He needs to do the training again to get
Weird.
back up with the reffing system
Yeah.
I
and
hope.
the local scene. So that's how it works.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is great for him because
Yeah.
because rumor has, I know I'm not gonna say it on this show because he told me some stuff, but we'll talk after when the mic's off.
Yeah,
But
I'll
shout
save
out
my opinion for that.
shout out to Matt. He's a good guy. He dude, if anybody loves the business or loves
that
professional
guy.
wrestling,
That guy.
I've known this guy all of high school, and he was just a freak. I've said it on live streams. Crazy fan, just amazing. And I mean, for him to wrestle, he's already wrestled several people. He's wrestled Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
Mike Elgin.
Mike Elgin.
He's wrestled Mike Elgin. Like, I mean, he actually messaged AEW. He wants to go out there.
Hey, man.
I mean, he's got this, and he wants to start. Listen, I'm not kidding, Edson. I'm looking you blue in the face. He wants to do a show, our own show, and we're gonna do it. We are going to do it. He
Once
knows
we get
people.
these sponsors going and stuff
Absolutely.
like that,
We're gonna get the wheels
That's
rolling.
where the money's going, because there's so many of us. That's what. If anybody's wondering if this is going to be a cash cow for anybody, if it gets to the point where we're making money even from sponsors, we're going to dump it back in.
Absolutely. Give it back.
There are
sure.
ideas that we're going to run a show, and if we have the right people in line, it's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been talking about this podcast for about, it would be a year and a bit, and we finally shot our first one, and this is our second episode. Can we call it the second one?
Yeah.
Because I know the first one was a pilot. And that being said,
every first episode's a pilot.
Like I said on the first show, we have so much knowledge and so much I don't even know.
Even passion
for wrestling, professional wrestling itself. Like not only independent, but obviously we were no matter what I say or do, I'm a WWE fan. Obviously, they are.
Sure you are.
They are a WWE fan. I don't like what they're doing, but
that just shows how much passion you have for
professional.
wrestling.
Oh, that's the word I'm looking for. There is a new alternative
Yes,
to professional wrestling.
There you go.
That's what they keep saying. There's a new alternative with AEW and Impact and Lucha and all these other promotions now, which is great.
Bad. That only took you 16 minutes.
I'm sorry. Listen, man, I had a brain fart, serious brain fart. But
with that being said, guys, my camera here is dead.
Oh shit!
So
which one?
We've been going on maybe half an hour just because I've been enjoying this freaking conversation.
I know.
And for those of you listening who stuck this long,
wait. So your camera's dead?
Mine's dead.
Oh, poor thing.
So with that being said, you guys got to sign us off.
Can you see our beautiful face? Anyways, I'll do the sign off then. So I'm gonna start a trend here. So it's called the trifecta for us now. So we do 3 good things: great cigars,
great company,
great wrestling.
Good night, guys.